And we should be live. Mm, Whoops, let's just make sure. There we go. Hey Kiwi, hey Herobrine, how are you guys? Everything good? Have you had a good day so far? That's perfect, that's perfect. Hey Pac-Man, how are you? Same question goes out to you. I hope you've had a pretty good day so far. Alright, but it seems like we've made it to another level here. Hey Draco, it's actually been a couple of days. Good seeing you again, man. Doing homework, yeah, it's important. Make sure you get your homework done. Nah, it's alright, it's alright. Besides, he did delete it right afterwards, so I reckon he realized that maybe it was sort of a little bit of what you're really supposed to say on the stream, you know. So I reckon he realized, and it's all good. Don't worry about it. Everyone. Hey, Zothel, how are you? Ow. Everything good? Well. So, how are you guys? Have you, any interesting stories from today or the last couple of days? Or do you want to just continue taking the piss a little bit at each other? I mean, that's pretty fun for me to look at, but... Well, with math, yeah, I get it, I get it. It's funny because, like with the math, I was just talking with my with one of my mates the other day about this. We come from the generation where, like, the math teachers would tell us, well, don't use a calculator because, like, you're not gonna have access to one that's just gonna be in your pocket at all times. So don't use a calculator. You need to know how to do this in your head, which, I mean, we learned and we can do it in our heads now, which is completely fine. Like, I do think there's actually some merit to that. But a few years later, right, the smartphone comes out and we're just like all walking around with this tool that can literally tell us the time and be a calculator that's in our pocket. I always thought that was sort of like just timing of it, right? It just suddenly became it suddenly just became a whole lot of more weird, where the teacher had almost just gone, or well, he hadn't just gone, it had been within a 6 or 10 years from when he said it, but it was always just like, I know, we thought it was kind of hilarious. Oh, darn. And that he was so adamant that we weren't gonna have like pocket-sized calculators in our pockets at all times. And then suddenly, fast forward 5 to 10 years, we are all walking around with pocket-sized calculators in our pockets. At least I think, personally, that that's pretty funny. I think that's hilarious, to be honest. Like how things change over time. Oh yeah, well, it's not cheating. It's and we didn't cheat, right? We learned how to do it. It's just he was so adamant that that was never going to be the case. And to be fair, like from his perspective, I get it, right? He grew up without where if you wanted a calculator, you would have to have one of those boxy calculators that just had no goal, had no purpose whatsoever. Can I? Where do I start this? Over here. And having one of those in your pocket, and like just in general, walking around with a calculator in your pocket sounds like sort of an odd thing to do, right? So I get why he wouldn't be able to predict that phones in the future would have calculators built into them. But regardlessly, that's what's happened, and it's just the irony of it, right? Especially since it was just like within a small 10-year period, which is like no time at all. Jesus Christ, I can't jump for shites today. No, it was we always had, like, my friend and I, we think back fondly upon that because he was also sort of a very strict know-it-all sort of guy, you know. You probably have a couple of those too, like a couple of teachers who think they know everything, which, to be fair, they might not know everything, but they know a hell of a lot more than you. But it's just fun whenever they're actually proven a little bit wrong. I remember back in college, we were having this is just, yeah, oh, well, I hated this teacher with a passion, and she hated me and a couple of my mates, but we had, oh, well, we was in college. I was around 18 years old or something at the time. But we did have a guy who had decided to come back to college or to get a proper education or something like that anyway. He was 26 or 27 at the time. We got, in biology we had this teacher which we really didn't like. Her name was Anita, which I don't know, has nothing to do with the story, but we're just gonna call her A, yeah. And we're gonna call the dude K, just for your guys' reference. So anyway, K was, he's an artist. Like he's like a bona fide artist. He has paintings hanging in museums and such. But I don't know, he wanted a proper education, so he came back to school. But he also was the kind of guy who liked to drink a lot, also during class. Like imagine Van Gogh, right? Like I don't know why, but all like good artists tend, or at least throughout time, tend to, I don't know, have some sort of thing they do that they shouldn't be doing, right? He was drinking and smoking a lot of weed. He being a dumbass. Um, but he was very, very, very good at painting, and he still is. I suspect that he's still alive, that is. Um, but we were sort of learning about the food pyramid, you know, all that sort of stuff. And like we were learning about some of the misinformation that has been, that were out there, like mm, that fat is bad for you, sure. Like having overly fat food, that's pretty bad for you. But also having food with more sugar than fat is actually even worse for you. And she was sort of talking about that in the previous class. And then we came to this class and she started talking about milk. Which was all good. Right, we sort of zoned out. The K and I and a couple of other guys, because I don't know, it's pretty common knowledge whatever she was trying to teach us, but whatever. Right? And she then went. She ended up concluding the class with that in Denmark we have 6 or 7 kinds of different milk, and they're called light milk, mini milk, sweet milk. Sweet milk is actually the most fatty one. All sorts of kind of different, where the fat percentage is slightly different on each, right? And it's sort of a categorization of milk. And she ended up saying mini milk, which is the milk with the least amount of fat in it, is best for the body, right? And Kenneth Chodek, sorry, K. I just accidentally ended up revealing his name. We're gonna continue calling him K though. K took issue with this, and he was like, "Well, didn't you just last time say that sugar was worse than fat?" And she went, "Yeah, it is." So and so on. And he's like, "Well, the reason why mini milk and all that sort of stuff is still tasty is because they put a very, very they put a lot of sugar in it in order to get over the fact that there aren't any fat in it. That's how that adds taste, right? They add taste through sugar, which again, completely fine." And she went no, and told him that he had no idea what he was talking about. Now, imagine this older guy, right? He's 29, 26 or something in that area, right? 27, 26, somewhere in that area. He's sitting there listening to this grown woman like contradict herself, and he just goes, "Okay, okay, okay." He actually gets like really upset, and he tells her to pretty much go fuck herself. And which is pretty funny in itself, because I mean it's a teacher. And well, he ends up storming out, or rather getting sent out. She tells him to piss off, and he obliges. And he's like, "Okay, I don't need this sort of bullshit anyway, so I'm gonna head out." And he went out, and he went out to drink and got really drunk. Our next teacher was really upset about it and sent him home. But he's an old man. He was a grown man, so he's responsible for his own decisions, right? So he was just sent home. Which, I mean, it's fine. The next day, however, we had biology again. And he comes walking into the class like 15 minutes late. He's clearly very, very hungover and not feeling too good. Um, but he has this sly look on his face, right? And at this point, I have known him for long enough to know that something is up, right? He walks up to the teacher and he takes two jugs out of the out of his bag, which is milk, Ala milk, which is like the most common brand in Denmark. He puts it down in front of her, and one is the sweet milk, which has 4.5% fat in it, and one is mini milk, which has less than 1%. And he goes, "All right, now look at the backside of this," because he wasn't having it, right? Look at the backside of this, right? And she picks up the mini milk and goes, "All right, so this has, as I said, less than 1% fat." And he goes, "Yeah, nah, that's not what I'm talking about. Look at the sugar." And that was at like 14% or something like that. And she goes, "Yeah, 14. And now pick up the sweet milk." And she proceeded to pick up the sweet milk. And then that said 2% sugar, right? And he was like, "All right, so the day before yesterday, you told us that, or our last class, you told us that if the percentage of sugar is more than X amount," I cannot remember now anymore, it's been years, "it's very, very unhealthy. So what's more unhealthy, 4% sugar or 4% fat, or 15% sugar?" And she started rambling that this brand was not particularly common, and it's literally responsible for 80% of the milk sales in Denmark. And he was sent to the to the office again, right? To HR or whatever we're gonna call it. And he was told off and told that he should take things more seriously. And he's like, "Well, I've just fact-checked," and like a few of us was actually sent with him, because that's how I know what he said, because we were laughing our asses off. We didn't mean to, but we just couldn't help ourselves. And he was like, "Well, one thing is that she's teaching a subject she's clearly not knowledgeable in, and another thing is that she's, I don't know, refusing to realize what's wrong." And then he used a bunch of slur words for it, right, in Danish, which basically translates into dog, female dog, and all sorts of things, right? Which isn't particularly nice. But he was sent home anyway. But investigation was actually kicked into progress because of this, right? There are cameras all over the school, so they started reviewing some of her classes in biology. And it turns out that she was not qualified whatsoever. 14%, sorry. She was not qualified for the entire thing, and the only things he actually said was exactly what it said in the textbooks, which was 25 years old. Like, she could not respond to any of it, and it turns out that, well, she had lied on her CV and ended up getting fired, which to this day is still one of his crowning achievements. Actually bringing so much heat and like just pure unadulterated adultness, that he's like, "Well, this can't be right. She's clearly not teaching something she's not supposed to teach, because she's not good enough for this, right? She's wrong in her assessments and blah 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 blah." And he ended up actually getting a teacher fired, which is kind of badass. Because it was on good grounds, right? It's not just getting a teacher fired. Like, it's actually surprisingly easy getting a teacher fired, but... Alright, hold on. Hold on, Salcel, excuse you. Oh, hey, Rezo, the Phoenix. I'm so sorry. I was so deep in my story that I have barely looked at chat. Like, telling a story and building this class is incredibly difficult, so we're sort of so that's sort of all my tiny brain could muster, which is between placing class and telling a story. Like, I couldn't do and read chat. That's just too much. My brain is too burned out. Well done, Backman. Well done. Kiwi's alright. Allowed to mod. He's allowed to do pretty much anything. You want a mood too? Well, you're in a mood, huh, Salsa? How are you, Rezo? Is everything good? Well, he's kinda right. The universe is a mystery. All we know about it is theoretical. We can barely prove any of it. Or, well, we can sort of prove a lot of it now, or a portion of what we thought, but most of it is theoretical. What we think we know, which is pretty cool, at least I think. Well done, well done. No, math was one of the things I did the worst in, and it's the only oral exam that I've had where I completely blanked out in college. I had the best math teacher ever in college, though. Like, he was a fun guy. That's one thing, right? Second thing is he was a math teacher and a philosophy teacher. And he would start each and every lesson bit by going, alright, so before I get started, do we need to talk about something, right? Something unrelated to math, just so you can, like, actually pay attention during math class. And we would talk about all sorts of things, and we would come with the entire class would come with a proposition to him, and he would argue it, right? He would say, alright, so what's your question for me today? And we would go, was Hitler evil? Or, and he would go, well, it depends how you look at it, right? And while I to this day think that that's a very, 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 very slippery road to take, I can't help but admire that sort of life approach a little bit, where he was just like, well, I mean, it depends. How do we measure evil? And he would actually really make us think. It's not just in math, but in life, right? He would make us question a lot of the decisions that had led us to the points in our lives where we were. Which I think was super, super cool. Like to have a teacher do that. Question some of the things that you thought you knew. And he would start every single class out like that. Like, are margaritas good? Is Chinese food healthy? Is blah 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 blah. Also extension, all sorts of questions towards existing in this life, right? He would go through them on the for 15 minutes of every class. He would respond to a question, and he would thoroughly enjoy it too. Which, I mean, he was absolutely amazing. But he also saved me at my math exam, because like my oral math exam, we had to explain this huge problem. I walked up there, and suddenly all I could remember was the equation. And he was like, you good? And I was like, no, not at all. I have no fucking clue what I'm doing here right now. And he sort of asked me a bunch of questions and got me back on track. Like, he was a goddamn legend. I ended up buying most of his philosophy books too, because he's just has a interesting way of thinking. You're bored, Ace, also. What can I do to make you less bored, my dude? Roses are red, violets are blue. Tell you fictional stories. Ah, right. Fictional stories. Jesus Christ. Well, I never really thought about fictional stories. How many percent of progress have we made? I think we're a little bit less, or maybe just around 50% done. Hey, nobody. Welcome. Today we're sort of building away on our You hired nobody. Alright, alright. So who is this nobody? I mean, I must admit, the timing was absolutely godlike. So my hat goes off from that. I don't know. I don't know nobody. So I don't know whether he or not he or she can defeat me. Maybe. Alright, what can you defeat me in? No, like that's I think that's a very valid question to ask. Or are you just presuming you can defeat me in anything? Can I not get up there? No. On consistent breathing. Hey Jesse, welcome. Well, I do consistently breathe, I must admit. And I do think I've consistently been breathing for a little bit longer than you've been alive, so wouldn't I have you beaten that? You're better at breathing than I am? Well, I must admit, I do feel like my breathing game has gone down lately. And my swallowing game. Every now and then I'll just, out of nowhere, swallow some of my saliva and be unable to breathe. And just cough. I feel like I'm old enough that I should have learned how to breathe and swallow my own spit without choking on it. But apparently not. Hey Aaron, how are you? You have a melody when breathing. I don't know. You should never count an old guy out. I have secrets of breathing that you can't even comprehend. Ha ha ha. 15. Well, you can actually find netherite all over the place and in on every layer. I found it on layer 100, but also it's most common at layer 15 in the Nether, of course. Of course, of course. No, let's do a quiz then. Nobody. And I guess a Minecraft quiz would be very appropriate. Though I'm actually not too sure I'm gonna beat you in that, but we'll test it out regardlessly, yeah? Is all of this... No, there's still some dark spots over here. Alright, so does anyone want to lead the questions, or should I just pull up a random quiz? And of course, no cheating and googling the results. You have to respond within 5 seconds. Alright, Aaron, do you wanna be the referee or the question giver? And I appreciate it, Aaron. Thank you. You know how much I hate to say that kind of stuff, so it's always nice when somebody else does. Nobody thinks he can defeat me, right? And we decided to test this out with a Minecraft quiz. So, we have to respond within 5 seconds. You ask us a question. And the one who gets closest to the right answer, or gets the right answer, wins, or gets the right answer first, wins the question. Hey, Eclipse. I'm pretty good. How are you? Nah, I feel like there's a little bit of an unfair advantage if we give it to Saucer Lava. I don't trust you guys since you had so impeccable timing. I don't trust you guys not to cheat, so I want someone who's 100% objective here, and that sort of stuff. No, it's just me versus nobody. So we just need someone to ask the questions. That's not Saucil. Who knows, I might actually be defeated. I'm not necessarily confident that I'll win, but... Do you think you can type out and... Wait, before we start, I'm just gonna, like, give it a... I'm just gonna ask a couple of questions first, just to make it fair. Do you think, nobody, that you can type quick enough to respond within 5 seconds? Or should I say like 7 seconds, because then you have 5 seconds to think about it and 2 seconds to type? Just to make it fair. Like, I don't want you to be just disqualified on every question because you can't type fast enough. Like, that would feel like a bad loss. Yeah, a pick defect. Wait. Before, we're not starting yet. We're just setting up the rules here. No. Me versus nobody. And are we going within 5 seconds? And we're not gonna, like, incorrect, if we can read it, I don't care whether it says, like, whether it's misspelled. If we can defer the correct meaning, then it's alright. Like, we're not gonna be picky about the grammar or the spelling here. just because I can respond orally, and that's sort of an unfair advantage. We're not gonna pick on any type of misspelling. How did Herobrine become a thing? Oh, wait, can we like get, instead of wait. Can we say that we're starting the quiz just so everyone is ready? And he was a rumor. I actually don't know how Herobrine came to be. I would like for someone to be responsible for all the questions, just so it's easy for me to look at the chat and... Alright, let's Alright, wait. I have a we're gonna do this instead, right? This is pretty straightforward. The ultimate Minecraft quiz, right? We're gonna do these questions. I'm gonna read the question out loud, and within 5 seconds, nobody and I have to respond to them. Like that way, it's super easy for all of us. All right, we ready? Wait, we're just gonna, before a phantom hits us or something, knocks us off it down into a creeper. That would be kind of bad. Okay, so question 1 out of 20. Endermen can be damaged in several ways. Which of the following has been made up? Melee attacks, splash water bottles, rolled up newspaper, rain. I'm gonna say rolled up newspaper. Yeah. How do you make a last chest? Put 2 chests next to each other. These questions suck. Like, how many blocks of iron ore does it take to make 1 iron ingot? Blocks of iron ore does it take to make 1 ingot? Well, that's a poorly phrased question, but 1. Well, technically you would get 9. But sure. What are creepers scared of? Ocelots? Oh, sorry. Ocelots. Well, cats are ocelots, so yeah. What can you wear to stop an enderman from attacking you? That would be a pumpkin. Okay. How is it a charged creeper? Lightning. When a creeper eats a plate of rocks. Which of these consoles can you play Minecraft on? All of them. Like Bedrock and Java, so that takes into everything. Who is the Enderman's leader? Donald Trump, of course. No, the Ender Dragon. How do you make obsidian? Mix water and lava. Oh, that's actually a pretty cool build. I kind of like that. We might do something like that in the future. That's actually a really cool build. I wonder what they used there in the middle to make that crystal looking thing. How tall is Ghast, not including tentacles? That's actually a good question. I'm gonna say 4. Or sorry, I'm gonna say 4 blocks. Nobody guesses 2. Okay, so this is the first time we disagree. Not including tentacles. I'm gonna guess 4. We're gonna keep this one. So this is one of the ones where nobody and I disagreed. I said 4. What can you use rotting flesh for? You can eat it and heal wolves. These are 2 3 and 4 are actually correct, both of them here. How many people play Minecraft every month? I actually don't know. I would say 15 million. Nobody's also on the free. Okay. What ore can you build complicated machines with? Redstone. Well, also obsidian. Bluestone, I have no idea what it is. Which mob do you fight at the end of the game? The Ender Dragon. Pigs drop pork chops and skeletons drop bones. What do zombies drop? Zombies drops rotting flesh. The Minecraft world is absolutely huge and is made out of trillions and trillions of blocks. If Minecraft was real, how big would it be? Bigger than the US, bigger than the UK, bigger than the planet Neptune, bigger than planet Jupiter. I think it's Jupiter, actually. What vegetable can you use to make night vision? Golden carrot, because carrots are good for eyesight. Which of these YouTubers plays Minecraft? Oh shit, I don't know. I don't watch this. Alright, so I'm gonna be automatically wrong on this, but we're gonna say all. Like, I don't... Oh well. What's a real life animal was recorded to make the sound effect for the ghast? A cat? Right? In which country do they let you play Minecraft in school? Well, I know for a fact we do in Denmark. So, I mean, I suppose they do in both of these. I'm gonna go with Norway. Oh, alright, so... Wait, can we see what... Okay, so it was us. So both nobody and I was wrong on this one. Even. I had one wrong here. Right, both right. Oh, we were both wrong there. Right. Both wrong. Both right. Aha! I was right on the... So right now we're even. That means we can't come down to an even score. Huh. That's unfortunate. Mm-hmm. So we went even here. So I have not been defeated, if nothing else. Alright, nobody. I hope to see you again, though. I hope to see you again. But it was nice of you to check in, man. It's kind of fun when somebody new sort of just appears and does things, you know? What year did Minecraft become beta? Was it 12? 2012? 2010? Well, there we go. Damn. Well, that I had no idea. I didn't play back then, so it's not really knowledge I carry around. I suppose. Is what I'm gonna use as an excuse for not knowing. I think I started playing Minecraft in... when did I start playing Minecraft? Oh, I thought that was Glow Lichen. Oh well. When did I start playing Minecraft? Ow. Wait, how long have I spent in this world by now? 24.45 days. Wait, I just wanna... we spent almost 1,500 hours in this world. Isn't that pretty incredible? Oh, and which... was it 1.16? Wasn't that when we got the Elytra, so... something like that. Welcome back, Salsel. Right. Well, we still need another end update, I think. I'm looking forward to another end update. Not that it needs to be as extreme as it is in most mod packs. I absolutely hate most of it where they make like end jungles and all that sort of stuff, but it would be sort of cool if they updated it with a single biome or 2 more biomes or something like that inside of the end. I think that would be kind of cool. Like, I don't need 20 different biomes in the end, I just want a little bit of difference instead of just the wasteland. At least I think that would be pretty cool. What about you guys? Do you think we need a, like, would you first of all like a end update, and second of all, would you rather that a end update includes 10 new biomes or 2 new biomes? Well, Jesse, I think from my experience with hardcore, which at this point I can actually say is pretty good. Like, I think 1,500 hours is a pretty good old world. I would say that iron armor is overrated and a shield is very much underrated. The very first iron you always get should always instantly be smelted down and turn into a shield, in my opinion. Because, like, creepers you can deal with, you can run from them. Spiders and such you can also run from, although a little bit more difficult. But, like, where a, like, full iron armor doesn't protect you from a blast from a creeper. First of all, a creeper blast still murders you if you're hit with it, unless you're fully enchanted too in your iron armor, which I don't think most people are. A shield completely protects you from that. Plus, it makes you able to take on skeletons without having to worry about getting shot down by arrows at all times. So, I mean, a shield is just so much better than iron armor, and it just costs 1 iron. Welcome back here, Brian. Ah, right, yeah. I remember one of the saltiest deaths in hardcore I've had is I just fought off like 2 or 3 creepers in a cave. And I sort of ran in deeper into the cave because I thought it was the end of it. But apparently there was a hole in the roof behind me. And I was sort of eating up because I was at like 2 hearts or something after having fought a bunch of skeletons and zombies and creepers. And I was there eating, and then I hear it behind me. I turn around and I don't get to put the shield up, and I just get exploded. Like, that made me super salty because I was sure I was safe. But as it turns out, there was a hole behind me in the roof, leading to another part of the cave. Like, that's just so unfair if you ask me. At least it felt really unfair. Yeah, and especially in Minecraft, and especially in hardcore. Like, that's the thing. I think hardcore is just about how long you can manage to be unlucky. How long you can manage by using skill to stave off being unlucky, right? Eliminating the spots in which if you are unlucky you die, right? So the older your hardcore world is, the better you are at calculating the risk at any interval, like where you could risk end up dying. Darn. Well, you can always just open LAN and then reopen the world. But I think if you do anything to get your hardcore world back, it's not hardcore anymore, is it? Right? Like, that's the thing. Hardcore is only cool as long as it has all been done legit. Like, if you're out and sort of just doing we have to go fix the elytra soon, but we'll just fill my inventory first. Oh, and we'll have to grab some more rockets while we're at it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And now we just fill up on all of the materials that we have. And then we head off to the gold farm to restock on our and our needs for the elytra. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Like, the point with hardcore is that you can lose things. I think that if we do die, I'm gonna keep this world for a long time. Just because it's inching towards the oldest hardcore world I've ever had. And I think that's an achievement all in itself. And we got all the stuff we need. Took a while to go through this portal. Alright, see you later, Eclipse. Thank you for checking in today. I really appreciate it. It's good to hear from you. I'm just gonna put these down here. And put some glow lichen down here. Just to make sure that we don't have any spawnage in the side of it. I'd like to say that we can get to about 75% today if I hurry up with this, if I stick to it. Wouldn't that be cool, getting to 75%? Because that means we can, if we can get to 75% today, then I think we can actually finish up tomorrow. Like, if I get to around where the head is today, we might be able to finish it all up tomorrow. Yeah, they indeed, I remember that. They also used to be able to jump, which made it a lot harder to fight them, but back then we didn't have crits, so we could just or cooldown, so how fast we could hit without while still doing full damage. So that made it a little bit easier, but still kind of rough. Hmm. And you found the upgrade templates? Nice, dude. I wonder why that was broken there. Alright, with that we can start on the next layer of glass. I think I actually want to start from over here. Yeah, I do. I think they really nailed the Nether update. I think that was, in my opinion, one of the best biome upgrades they ever made, or upgrades like to the base game. Like, I think the bastions are well designed. I think they also added in the ruined portals in that update, which was also like spot on. It makes the world feel older and more interactive. And it just became so much like suddenly the Nether was worth adventuring, not just like trying to get through. Back in the day, we didn't have all of the back before then, we weren't doing all of the big machinery we do now in the Nether either. But like, I think it just came out to be a much needed adventuring update, like adding a whole nother layer to the game. But I do think that pretty much every single update Minecraft has ever released is close to perfection of what you could want for it. So, I mean, I think it's a difficult one. Like, it's also why I'm so adamant that you should buy Minecraft and not crack it, because there's actually like some really good updates out there. The developers are working really hard, and they're doing a really good job, which is more than I can say for most games. Like, they continue just launching bangers upon bangers that just add on to the game and don't ruin it. Like, that's... I cannot think of a single other game where like that regularly gives the players expansions and where the game is still where people are where they don't lose a portion of their player base every time they release an expansion, right? The World of Warcraft is the perfect example of that, right? The last expansion where they didn't lose a massive amount of players after releasing it was Wrath of the Lich King. Right, that was the last expansion where they actually gained a bunch of players that stuck around. ever since then they released Cataclysm, and I think it was like 25% of the player base just quit the game. Then they released another patch, and at that point the game was just already dying, so it's sort of unclear whether it was due to the patch, but they also lost another 10% of their existing player base, and it's just been like that for a very, very long time. Although I think Dragonflight actually managed to score some points back, but like when we think about the big game developers, it's very rare that they actually manage to continuously improve the game. And Minecraft has released like 10 patches that has all been very close to perfection. I actually think that's more an achievement than mm, right, yeah. Well, it's always a little bit nostalgic when you're thinking about the things you used to do in Minecraft, isn't it? I remember when I started playing Minecraft, the only thing I wanted to do was build roller coasters. And I wanted to build them out of dirt, um, which isn't particularly safe or good, and they looked horrible, but I thought they were incredibly fun to be on. So there's always some nostalgia when you're thinking about what you used to do. Um, that being said, though, I wouldn't trade this world for the biggest roller coaster possible right now. Like, I'm very, well, we could make a roller coaster inside of the dragon. That would actually be kind of fun. Like a triad for, ah. Really? I fell there? Okay. It's so nice just building along to this. And I think I actually found a playlist that's enjoyable. Like, it's not anything that's like super energetic or anything like that. It's just quiet music for the background, which is exactly what I need for this. Not something that's overstimulating, because then I just get really upset whenever I fall. I need it to be as calm and as low-key as possible. Can I get over? I could have had I been able to jump, I think. Like, not up to here, but I would have been able to jump up from the glass. Oh, would you look at that dark spot? we can't have that. Perfect. I actually sort of want to go over there by flying through, just because I know that's probably going to feel pretty cool. Yeah, it does. Well, I'm actually gonna have to do the same sort of soon, because we don't have a lot of rockets left, and I need a bunch of rockets in order to complete this build, or rather, to fly up back up every time I fall. So we're actually gonna have to do the sort of the same thing, uh, though I'm gonna do it in the raid farm, as we don't have a proper gunpowder farm yet. Like at some point I might get a proper gunpowder farm, but I don't know, it's just I kinda hate the idea of those big farms that are just sitting out on the water, you know? Like sure, sometimes it just can't be helped, but I might make a gas farm instead. Yeah, and usually you don't need more than just a regular one. And the only reason I'm considering making one that's not just a regular one is because I don't really want to ruin the aesthetic I got going in my world, you know? Like right now we've done so much for world building, so I'm gonna have to figure out something else for the... Well, I suppose I could just build a big mountain out in the water and then hide away the creeper farm. I suppose I wouldn't. Like just a lone mountain sitting out in the ocean. That could actually end up even looking pretty good. Building it super tall, so it's like almost goes all the way up to build height. So, shit, come on. Fudge. Yes. Hey Kiwi, welcome back. Good seeing you. Well, it's a little bit more quiet, isn't it? Than some of the other music I've been going with lately. Sort of testing out what feels best when building a big ass dragon that's getting on my nerves, you know? What's up, Eclipse? Yes, fudge is not. I've decided to use fudge and muffin whenever I wanna. Okay. Okay. Did he Did he shave off all your head? All your head? Your hair, I mean. Yeah. Okay, okay, okay. That's where my mind naturally goes when you're like sending a crying smiley and I went to the bopper. Oh no, did he shave off all your hair by mistake? Although that would be a very, very good story, like a couple of years down the line. But I suppose it wouldn't be particularly funny if it actually happened. At least not right now. As I said, a good story for down the line. Oh, how far is there to the head? When do I start on the head? Come on. Like, surely there can't be far. Oh. This layer we're starting on. And there we start on the beard. Huh. So wait, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We got 11 more layers before we're at the head. Oh my god. Burger haircut. Hmm. Mm. Oh, Jesus Christ. Alright, well, I mean, um, I suspect there's probably some truth to it, since your grandfather is saying it. I'm not saying that to offend you, but old people usually tend to say the truth, and when they do, and if it is the truth, people tend to laugh it off around them because they're like, "Oh, right, yeah, that's actually spot on." So, you might look like a burger. Who knows? Although it's kind of a fun thought. Oh, for me, that is. For you, that kind of sucks. Oh, I mean, I think it's appropriate to tell your grandson. I imagine if I had a grandson, first of all, I would have to have children first, so I would be very concerned if someone suddenly drags along a child saying this is your grandson, then I'd really start freaking out. Um, but I would totally take the piss out of my grandchild. Like 90% of our interactions would just be me bullying him. That's the kind of grandfather I'm gonna be. Unless I get a granddaughter, then it's something different. A granddaughter needs to be treated with respect, so she knows what men can be like. What she needs to strive for in order to get a good boyfriend. The sort of person he needs to be. And a grandson needs to know that uh, if he acts like a dumbass, he gets punched in the nose. I think that's a very valuable lesson you can teach your children and grandchildren, I suppose. Not that I'm gonna punch my grandson in the nose. Don't get me wrong, but uh, hmm. I don't know, Eclipse. You're just gonna have to carry your new hairstyle with pride. Like 90% of the time, it's more about your attitude than it is about the actual hairstyle. If you carry it confidently, uh, it won't look like a burger. Uh, or your head won't look like a burger. Hey, Fawn. Welcome. Um, it's like some guys have a mullet, right? And by no means that's attractive, right? It looks dumb, a mullet. But somehow some people can actually sort of carry it, and some people definitely can't. And I think that's sort of the perfect example that hairstyle is more about your confidence than it is, at least for men, than it is for about mm, uh, the hairstyle. Oh yeah, yeah. Look, I am laughing on the inside. Don't get like I'm not gonna lie, Eclipse. You having a burger haircut sounds hella funny, but don't get me wrong. It's not because I want to be mean that I find it funny. I would find it funny if it was my best friend too. I think I find it funny because I don't pity you, right? How about we put it that way around? I don't pity you. Uh, Instead, I just find it funny, and I'm sure it's probably gonna be all right in the end. I do find it hella funny. And besides, it doesn't have any consequence, which is why it's funny, right? Hair grows back. You might look kind of odd for a couple of weeks, but then it's gonna pretty much just be grown all back, right? In a month or so, you're gonna be back to your old hairstyle. So, don't worry about it. Oh no, the horror. Imagine winter break ending today. Oh, I've been at work for a week. Fun. But yeah, nah, I get it. I get it. I really don't want to use a rocket here, so let's just like walk it. Well, who knows? Maybe you're gonna find a girl who really likes that kind of haircut. Who knows? Maybe it's fate, Eclipse. Ah, maybe you find a guy who really likes that kind of haircut. Sorry, didn't mean to presume your sexuality, but maybe you find a person that you're interested in that likes that exact type of haircut. Well, half the stream, at least to me, is talking to my viewers, so that's gonna be kind of contradictive, I guess. Alright, and now we can start on the glass paint. Well, I mean, it is my stream. But how is Sam? Is she alright? Everything good on her side? I suppose it's a good sign if she's laughing, but... and having a good time. Think of it that way, right? If nothing else, you brighten your little sister's day a little bit. Your younger sister's day a little bit. Probably her entire week. I don't know. I suppose, to a degree, but... it is what it is. Oh, did I just drop a glass pane? Ah, I suppose we don't need all of them anyway, so... Whee... Hey, Turco, how are you? It's been a couple of days. How are you? Everything good? We've actually made some tremendous progress today, I think, already, since, and it's only been 1.5 hours. Hold on, I am doing both dragon and laughing at you a little bit. You got 2 blisters in your mouth. Oh no, that sucks, dude. That sucks. That genuinely sucks. Alright, run around. Yeah. There's actually an old wife or old woman grandmother trick to that if you want to know. If you take a needle with a piece of string on it and poke it through the blister, That will make it so that the blister can heal, and all the inflamed fluid will be dragged out by the string. Creeper, where? Yeah, where did you see a creeper? Ah. Oh, so funny. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Okay, so I guess we just well, and you are right about that eclipse, 100%. Ah, fudge. Hmm. I'll exaggerate if I want to. Excuse you. I am so offended right now. Hmm. Well, you say that, but I can totally see it. I can totally see it. You seem like the kind of guy who would have a burger haircut, don't you? Hmm. Of course. I'm just joking, just want to make sure that nobody actually gets upset. Ah. I don't support bullying, but I would say that your grandfather is just building your character. I think you should roast him back. I wouldn't let it pass. If it was my grandpa, I wouldn't let him roast my haircut. For sure. I would roast him right back. Ah, well, if it was my grandpa, I might actually just beat his ass. Never mind. If he tried stuff like that. Unfortunately, I'm one of those people unfortunate enough to have a grandpa who's a... you know Grumpy from Snow White? Like the Grumpy dwarf, or whatever it's called. I think it's called Grumpy. Yeah, that's him, just incarnate as a human. That's my grandfather. He has a tendency to actively try and make my grandmother cry, which same grump. Well, you know, it's character building because you need to grow thicker skin. If that upsets you. I suppose. At least that's what I would call it if I were to, if I was your grandpa, that would be my reasoning. Oh, really? Hey, Stomplex. How are you doing, man? Everything good? Oh yeah? And why is sleep terrifying then? Although it sounds like a dumb thing to watch before trying to sleep, Vaughn, but you have piqued my interest. Why is sleep terrifying? Because you risk not waking up, or or why is sleep terrifying? Well, Eclipse. I mean, it's just a haircut, dude. As I said, it don't matter. You're a pretty awesome dude, so you don't really need to worry too much about a haircut. For ugh. Yeah, you can always send me a message. Whether I react on it is depending on the content of the message, I guess. But you're almost always welcome to just flick one off to me. Don't worry about that. Just send stuff, and then I'll figure out whether it's something that should be responded to. You know. So don't ever worry about that. Just send me stuff, and then I'll as long as it's appropriate, of course. Hmm. Well, Eclipse, I would turn that around on you, actually. If you're unable to explain what it is you're trying to say, then it's your brain cells that aren't good enough to explain it to everyone. Instead of assuming that everyone is the issue, you should probably assume that it's yourself. If a lot of people can't understand what you're saying, it's likely not because you're the smartest person in the room, but because you're unable to articulate yourself in a sufficient manner. You shouldn't vape, dude. Don't. Like, one thing is that I do, and that's because I've been smoking for longer than you've been alive. But you shouldn't. Like, really, it's a waste of money, and it's only going to lead into a terrible habit. That's you should really sell it, stop while you still can, and then And then, well, yeah, stop while you still can, save yourself the money and the trouble. It's the worst way to die, and we still don't, like, we don't know what effect vaping has on you long term, because nobody has been vaping for long term yet. And but we know that smoking is one of the worst ways to die in the world, so let's not go down that road. Indeed, indeed. Yeah, you get a fidget spinner if you need it to keep calm. Like, go for a run instead. Exercise. Do anything but smoke. I'm sorry, like, that's just... I have been, as I said, I've probably smoked for longer than you've been alive, and there's at a certain point, like, it becomes a thing you do to feel safe and relax, right? And then that's when it really grips you. That's when it's very hard to stop, and if you do manage to stop the second something hard happens to you, something that's difficult to deal with in your personal life, you're going to start smoking again. And you're going to be right back at it, so stop while you still can, and if you're anywhere below the age of 30, then you should be able to stop. Because then the longest you could possibly have been smoking for, like regularly at least, is like 18 years. So someplace I would heavily suggest that you find some other way to relax. Because it doesn't help, and you don't know, and we don't know the effects of it. We know that smoking is probably one of, if not the worst way to die. Slowly suffocating and feeling every single fiber in your body burn while you're trying to breathe. Probably one of the worst ways to die. Which is why I vape, because I hope that that's going to kill me in a less terrifying and terrible way. Yeah, try other stuff, dude. Like, there's tons of things you can try that doesn't wreck your health in the long run. Like exercise. Like, Jesus, dude. Like, whenever I stop smoking, and I do from time to time, whenever I find a girl that I'm serious about, I exercise instead. And that works to a degree, and the only reason why I don't exercise while I still smoke right now is because I exercise and I smoke, but whenever I need to quit, I just need to exercise even more, and that helps me and relax me, so exercise instead. Well, gaming helps, sure, but exercising probably helps even more, because exercising both releases dopamine but also serotonin in your brain, which is the exact things you get from smoking, while gaming pretty much only releases dopamine. So again, exercise. Go for the long run instead. Push yourself. Like, I remember when I moved to New Zealand, I stopped smoking because cigarettes were crazy expensive there. Plus, I had sort of told my employee that I didn't smoke, so I mean, I had to. So I started running, and after 6 months, I accidentally ran a marathon. Just trying to sort of stay relaxed, and after that I ran an official marathon because I realized, oh wait, I've just run 42 kilometers. Like I had been out for 6 hours just running, 6, 7 hours, and then I suddenly was about to get a heat stroke, and I sort of called my one of my mates and went, "Hey, look, I'm here and here. Can you come pick me up?" And when he came to pick me up, he's like, "Well, dude, that's 42 kilometers from your home. Did you just run a marathon?" And I'm like, I suppose. I suppose I did. Not on purpose, but. Hmm. Wait. Hold on. Am I missing someone? I guess I am. But that's not really stream appropriate. Top chat. Um, and see you later, Clips. Thank you for checking in today. I really appreciate it. It's always a good time when you do, even if you do have a burger haircut. Oh, I guess we level up. Oh, would you look at that beard? We're actually getting to the dragon's face now. Isn't that kind of exciting? Though we are running out of glow lichen, we might have to get more. But luckily, glow lichen is a pretty straightforward to block to get a bunch of. Oh wait, what did I just miss? Alright, fine. Ah, right, it's a red paint. Why though? Why are you wondering, Stumplex? Oh, short. Sorry, that must have been loud. Oh, made me all teary-eyed though. guess we can just finish this part up before we head down to the bed, because I really don't want to deal with phantoms. Eat. Eat. Ow, that actually kind of hurt. What? Welcome back, Stumblex. Yeah, Stardew Valley is a pretty good game. I've thought a lot about recently playing it again, like buying it, and it was back in the day when I played Stardew Valley. I'm ashamed to say, but I actually cracked it, which well, since I've sort of thought about buying it, because it is a very, very good game. There's a lot of content in it, and it's a nice and quiet game to just play. Like, it's nice and relaxing. Actually, in the same way that this is sort of relaxing doing. Like, it's not something that necessarily requires a bunch of brain power. You can just sit down, relax, and enjoy the gameplay. Yeah, it is. But like Minecraft, it also, like, you can, like, be fanatic about it too, and do a bunch of stuff that is difficult to do. Like, it's not just a game that's easy to play and where you can sort of turn off your brain and play it. Of course, that is a play style you can do, but there are also a bunch of more advanced stuff you can do inside of it, which makes it like just that tad better, I think. If you like Stardew Valley, there's actually a game that's called Palia, I think it's called. I played it very briefly. I wasn't caught as much as some of my mates, but I will agree to the, like, because they said it was basically Palia, but basically Stardew Valley, but in like third person, um, with a little bit more co-op, I guess. Um, and I do actually think it's a very good game. So if you ever get bored of of Stardew Valley, then I would suggest you give Palia a run, right? Because it's a pretty good game, pretty good game. Not gonna lie. Well, sometimes Minecraft is just the perfect game to play, and then sometimes it's just, well, not. Like sometimes it's much nicer just playing some of the less requiring games, because Minecraft does require like some conscious thought and stuff. Like sometimes it's absolutely perfect, and sometimes it's just a little bit. Yeah, Minecraft can be boring, for sure. Although I'd say that it has more to do with your attitude towards Minecraft than it does the actual game. Because Minecraft can pretty much be anything you want it to be. At least Java. I can't speak for Bedrock, but... Alright, see you later, Pac-Man. Thank you for checking in. The music is making you sleepy? Huh. Well, it's keeping me in sort of a zen mood where I don't mind as much when I fall down. I still mind, but I don't get so terribly upset. Bedrock is what? I wouldn't say it's ass, for sure. Like, it's still, I think Bedrock serves a purpose. And I think it is, and it does serve that purpose very, very well. Which is being a well, I sort of compared it before to like Android versus Apple or Mac or whatever you want to say, right? Where it's like where Java obviously is Android, right? You have the abilities to do everything, but iPhone or Apple is you can't really do a lot to it, but it is it is made in such a way that it's easy for you to just use and have a good time with it. And I think that's the purpose that Bedrock solves, right? Because you can't, everything you can do in Bedrock you can do in Minecraft or in Java just by modding it. But if you don't want to sit down and mod and keep your mods up to date and have not a strong device, then Bedrock is absolutely perfect for it. Well, I think that's a you issue, dude, because I know people who are playing Bedrock on a Chromebook flawlessly. So I think that's that sounds like you are doing something wrong with your settings or on your chosen platform. You might have, but it's but as I said, like if you don't mind modding, having to mod a little bit, then you're much better off with Java, because like you can make the game take up less space and all the things that Bedrock does automatically. You can do that to Java. And then play with all the free mods that are out here, making the games such perfection, right? Because I don't think it's... I don't think it's the... wow, I'm losing my words. I guess I did work too long today, so my brain must be kind of tired, but still, I feel like that's way early. And my brain is already breaking apart. We've barely been going for 2 hours. But I suppose everyone has a limit somewhere. Wait, did I not put that in? That's a lot of glass. Really? That should be better. There are a bunch of games out there that become a lot better with as the community helps it out. Like Skyrim is one of those things where like mods absolutely make and break the game, which I think is super cool. And I think Minecraft is sort of the same genre where the base game in itself is pretty close to perfection, but then there are more mods than I can count that can give you just that little bit of extra oomph if you need it. Like personally, I don't need more content in Minecraft. I can barely keep up with the content that's here. I guess that also, like I'm a builder, not an adventurer. Well, I'm a builder, and then if I'm anything besides a builder, I'm an adventurer. I don't PvP and all that sort of stuff, so, or PvE for that matter. At least that's not my main ways of getting enjoyment out of the game. But you can if you want to. You can transform your entire game into a PvP simulator and just fight other players in millions of different ways. There's not a single way that you can't fight a player in Minecraft. Like I'm sure you can find a server for whatever you want. Want to ride on a horseback with a lance and knock people off horses? I'm sure that there's a server for you out there. It might not be in English, but there is a server out there for you. Alright. wonder how many glass panes we've used now. Like last time, I think we had 7,000 at the most on purple. Last time I checked. Shall we check, actually? Oh yeah, we almost doubled the amount of glass panes we've used. Which is super exciting. Like, actually super, super cool. Right, actually, let's just sort these blocks here, so it becomes a little bit more easy to sort of just click in on them. Hey, welcome back, Pac-Man. How are you? Did you have a nice break? Ow. Oh, I'll run all the way down then. Alright. Okay. We all the way around. Soon we'll be able to do that, but all the way around inside of the dragon. It's gonna be kind of cool. Flying through it, just for the sake of that we can. With that being the only reason to do it. Why are you flying through the middle of the dragon, or on the inside of it? Well, because I can. That would be a pretty satisfying response. Indeed you are. It is pretty late. I suspect that most people are probably out eating or in school, depending on time zone, I suppose. Checking over here. I don't think the stream today is going to be terribly long. I think we're going to be doing we're going to be doing 8 more layers up to about here. It's right here, I think. Today, because then I think we're almost in a stretch where I can see the end. How many layers are left after that? 1, 2. Alright, so there are 70 layers left of this build, which is a pretty amazing amount, but I suppose it is what it is. That means we probably won't get done tomorrow either, but if I do about I'm happy you enjoy them. I'm happy you enjoy them, Pac-Man. I really appreciate it. I suppose we have about 2 more streams, maybe 3 more streams, just with doing this, if we can like average about 25 layers on each stream. Which is a really big amount of blocks that we still need to place, but I don't mind terribly. I don't mind too much. Well, you might even have 4 more streams left in this, but it's then we're gonna be done with it. It's actually pretty incredible. Like that, if everything goes according to plans, then in 4 days we're gonna be done with this. Maximum of 4 days. Since we spent so long on it now, 4 days is just like no time at all. We got to 21 hours yesterday. Today we're probably gonna get to about 3. Bring us to 24 hours. Depending on how long my work days are gonna be, we're gonna be able to knock this out of the park in a couple of streams. Like today I'm not gonna be able to go for very long because the work day was very long, but but we are for sure getting this in. We're probably also gonna have to get some more glow lichen before we are going to have to get some more glow lichen before we can finish this up, because I'm using a lot more glow lichen than I anticipated I would. I guess it's because I'm trying to spawn proof it as much as I am while we're building it. Making it entirely spawn proof, which is a lot more work with the glow lichen than, since I chosen to not have like any obvious light sticking out too much, as I think that would ruin that effect there. So I just need a bunch of glow lichen to light up the places. Plus it gives off sort of an ethereal light, which I really like. Right. So unable to jump over that. How many entities are in my world? Oh, that I don't know. Do you mean entities as in 341-ish. I guess it sort of depends. 330. Somewhere between 330 and 350, I guess. I suppose. Ah, right, that was just a random box. Pardon? What a waste of rockets. I'm really looking forward to seeing how much glass we made too much. Because I know for a fact that there's going to be quite a lot, but I wonder how many shulkers exactly we made too many. Because, like, there's a lot of glass on the inside that we're not putting down. That's counted towards the schematic here. Hey, son boy, it's been a while. Welcome, man. How are you? I mean, this effect here is gonna look absolutely so, like, it's gonna look so cool, so gorgeous. That's nice, dude. What have you been up to, son boy? I guess I should address it a little bit. Also you, Pac-Man, if you have something you want to share, please do. And for the next... Well, I suppose we can go through the body. Oof. Right. Claw-lagging. Oh, I mean, this, my world here is, getting old, for sure. We almost reached 1800 days. I'm actually, really happy with that. And we're out of food, so I'm actually gonna have to go make some. 12 rockets should be enough to get back up. So, right, inventory space. I thought for a second he was upset with me. Like he just came walking walking towards me, and it seemed like he was upset for a second. Luckily he was not. Well, we have food again. Nice. We've really gotten far on the dragon though. We're almost at the point where we can begin with the face, and it takes 3 rockets to get up here. That's actually an incredible amount. We can almost get started on the face of this dragon. Which is like pretty wild considering like how big it is. How long we spent on just getting to this point. I feel like it's alright, see you later, Pac-Man. I feel like there's a lot of glass placement at least. Then again, I have been building this dragon for many streams now. I think we actually started around day 1700. So that means we've been building for almost 50 days. Sleeping every 4th. Whenever Phantom spawns. Because I've fallen off these glass panes as it is. I don't need help from Phantoms to mess up the jumps. I can do that all on my own. Yeah, it has, hasn't it? Oh wait, has it really been a whole month? It doesn't feel that long, but... Well, I mean, the build? I mean, the build we've only been doing for a little while. Gathering the resources, though, that has been another story. Like, that was a rough process, not gonna lie. But in return, we did manage to get like a bunch of other very valuable machines up and running, which I really like. Having that sort of settled in already, I think is super cool. Because it just means that for every one of these big builds that we make, where I make like a dedicated machine for something up for a part of it, eventually we're gonna have machines to make pretty much anything that we want to in a disgusting amount. Meaning that it's going to be so much easier in the future when we want to get to make big builds. But after we made this, I'm going to need a break from, not from Minecraft, but from building for a while. So I think we're going to, or at least like these big builds. So there's going to be a grace period, where I think I might try and pick apart a ancient ruin, fight a warden, and explore the deep dark, and do all the stuff I've sort of been putting off. Although I'm sort of scared about that warden, not gonna lie. I might have to play around with him a little bit first, in a creative world, just to figure out exactly how dangerous he is. I've never really played against the warden, so, but it is one of those things I need to do before we upgrade our world into 1.21. I need to get sniffer eggs. I need to get all of the 1.20 content out of the way. Then we can move on to 1.21. By that time, we're likely going to be very close to the release of 1.22. So either I hurry up and complete all the 1.21 specific content so we can upgrade directly into 1.22 as soon as that comes out and all the shaders and texture packs and all that sort of stuff is ready for it. Um, but until then, I couldn't go through the body. I think that's... oh, now we're here. Hold up one moment. Come on, there we go. Hey, Toby! It's been a long time. How are you? I don't know. I thought you were just super excited there for a second, but no, you're just using caps lock without intending to. But how are you? Everything good? Oh, damn. Well done. On the grind. That's always very important. So remember to grind away, making your life better in the long run. Trading in some short-time pleasure to get some long-time pleasure. That's that's life. Wait, why did that sound almost Australian? That's life. Crikey. Ain't that a beaut? Oh, I guess I could start using crikey again. That's actually, I really like the word crikey. Well, we've actually made it to the beard of the dragon. Wait, you're gonna support? You're gonna buy a bearded dragon? Really? That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool, not gonna lie. They're actually supposed to be pretty social lizards too, aren't they? Like for a lizard, that is. Oh, damn. I always pictured you as a crazy cat lady, but I guess you're gonna be a crazy lizard lady instead. Good on you. Don't worry, I'm just taking the piss, Toby. But it's good. I was worried you were under the weather or something like that, since it had been so long. I do wonder every now and then when I haven't seen you for a while, you know? Ah. I suppose you have a lot of snow in Canada right now, don't you? It started snowing a little bit here in Denmark, but it was really only like slush snow, you know. And then it became really windy, and the slush snow just flew away, which is kind of a shame. Not gonna lie. I kind of like it when the rooftops on the other buildings are covered in snow. It looks so nice. Especially when I don't have to be out in it. I really like looking at snow if I'm inside. If I'm outside, I'm pretty pissed about it, not gonna lie. Unless we're out skiing, then I don't mind as much. You got heaps. Oh my god. It's been a while since I've heard anyone use the word heaps, but it's a good word. I like it. Heaps of snow, yeah. Right. Oh, in that case. Hold on, let me just see. In the Discord or as a... Oh, yeah, wow, yeah, that's... Oh, wait, my caps lock is also on. That really is a lot of snow. Do you have any mountains nearby you can go skiing on, or is it not that part of Canada you live in? Oh, actually, Toby, we had a very heated discussion yesterday in the chat. I would like your input to it. Are you ready? Waffles or pancakes? People get surprisingly intense on that question. So, what's your answer? So pancakes are better is what you're saying. Because they're always good. Alright, alright. I guess my response was somewhat like that too, so I somewhat agree. Oh yeah, yeah. Wait. You're saying without syrup? Are you allowed to say that sort of thing in Canada? Like, isn't that treason or something? It feels like it would be treason. Yeah, right, right, Kiwi. It feels like a Canadian isn't allowed to say no syrup. Like, isn't syrup like 60% of your personalities? Maple syrup specifically. I'm gonna give you a flapjack. What the hell is a flapjack? A pancake? What the hell is a flapjack? Flapjack. That's not a pancake. How is how is that a pancake? That's just an American. That's a flapjack. That's an American pancake. No. This is pancake. This is an American pancake. That's an American pancake, right? Flapjack. When you search flapjack, that's what you're getting. You're getting these crusty things that's no, yeah, indeed. But look, it says flap. I suppose you can't read it because it's in Danish, but flapjack recipe on delicious oat bars with chocolate. Flapjacks uh, recipe on British pastries for tea, for coffee or tea. Yummy gold. Oh well, you can read that yourself. Look, flapjacks. Flapjacks is a protein type of protein bar, not a pancake. What? I mean, I'm just saying. Google agrees with me, and therefore I'm right. I uh, I don't want to hear any of that. Uh, well, how can I say this without sounding too offensive? Well, I can't. I don't want to hear any of that bullshit that you're spouting. No, no, that's just called an American pancake. Damn. But I guess it makes sense as Canadian. You don't want to give that sort of that joy to Americans by calling it an American pancake. So I guess, like to some degree, it makes sense that you wouldn't want to give the Americans that sort of satisfaction. What if we're talking about flat pancakes, though? How do I get over there? At least bigger than the size of your plate? Oh, that sounds pretty good, though. What do you call things you roll up? I don't know, sleeves? Uh, I, what do you mean, Kiwi? Ah, right, right. Yeah, I guess like whenever we in Denmark talk about pancakes, we actually talk about the really flat ones. Ah, I suppose that's what you meant, Kiwi. We just call them pancakes. I don't know, sorry. I don't know why my brain just suddenly went to sleeves, but I guess it's sort of the way you phrased it. What do you roll up? Well, I mean, my sleeves every now and then. Uh, I gotta show off my forearms somewhere, right? And then when we make fluffy pancakes, like the big thick ones, we call them American pancakes. But when a normal person refers to a pancake in Denmark, it's those. Well, that's all. Yeah, that's pretty much just a crepe, and then we a crepe, depending on which country you're from, I guess. If you want to be all French about it, which I suspect Toby would be, because I know she's Canadian, and we all know Canada is just France, but cold. Durr. Right? I'm not totally wrong, am I? Well, Canada is just French, but nicer and colder. Less pretentious, I guess. Stack 2 American pennies. It's a crepe. Stack 8. It's a pancake. Stack 12 and it's a flap. Yeah, I suspected as much. But pancakes are... but I'm happy you're part of the pancake camp. Almost everyone were, but... And it turned out that Fawn had never really had a pancake. Isn't that, like, horrific? I almost cried myself to sleep thinking about that yesterday. That poor Fawn had not had a pancake ever. Yeah, right? Imagine not giving your pancake. Let's just turn that sentence around. Your kids' pancakes. Like, Jesus Christ. I could never. Wait, what happens if I press... Okay, so it can't. That's fine. Yeah, she does, doesn't she? My God, now I'm craving pancakes like crazy. Jesus Christ. I think I'd sell one of my kidneys if I could get pancakes right here, right now. Darn. Oh well. My mouth is even watering. Jesus Christ. Wait, do I have the stuff I need for pancakes? No, I don't. Horror. Like, I'm pretty sure I don't have the stuff for it. Well, I don't have any syrup either, so, I mean, that's... I do have Nutella, though. Could I still make it to the store and get... I could still make it to the store and get all the stuff I need to make pancakes. I don't know, I'm more into like waffles, like a warm waffle with ice cream. Like that just like a Belgian waffle with ice cream. That's just so fucking good. If I'm like, if I have to choose my favorite type of waffle, it's like a Belgian waffle with like with powder, with sugar and sort of like that sugar you use in a donut, and that sort of sticks to the surface a little bit, and then warm it up nice and hot, and then chuck on some ice cold ice. Wow, yeah, wow. Self-explanatory much. But then chuck some ice onto it and just dig in. Oh, that sounds so good, yo. Do I have for waffles? I think I might actually have the things I need for waffles. Is it called confection? My tongue can't, Obi, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that right now. Is that what it's called? Oh, there we go. I learned something new today. But yeah, and then just some, I don't know, I kind of like become like a basic white girl when it comes down to waffles, because then I just like want some vanilla ice cream on top, and then I'm just like, that's so good. No, no, no. Now I suddenly feel like just inviting some girl out for a date, taking her somewhere where I can eat waffles, and then I can steal half her waffle and then, I don't know, never talk to her again because I stole her food. Huh. That's actually not a bad idea. Because you can't really go to a restaurant by yourself, can you? Like, I feel like that looks so sad. I guess I could also invite my mom. Now, that would actually be a much better idea. Instead of leaving some poor leading some poor girl on. And with a little bit of luck, mom will even pay. My god. I might just have made myself some weekend plans. Now I just need to figure out where they sell waffles and pancakes. Yeah, indeed. I don't know, for whatever reason, when I imagine you saying that, that sounds wrong. But yeah, yeah. Well, this is something, isn't it? Well, I don't know, Kiwi. I've had some pretty darn good waffles out throughout my life. I've had some pretty darn good waffles. I find it hard to believe that there's anything 10 times better than that. At least like 10 times, like that's a lot better. I find it hard to believe. I remember, it was probably down by Waitaki in New Zealand. There's this black water rafting you can do, but not far from that area there's like this old, very old hotel you can stay at that serves bread and breakfast. And I'm just saying, they serve some damn good waffles, right? I remember I came back from whitewater rafting with the person I was seeing at the time, and we were super exhausted and just completely out of sugar because I know it's it's blackwater rafting that turns into or whitewater rafting that turns into blackwater rafting, and then there's like then you have to get out of the tube that you're in, and then you have to like swim for a long time through sort of this underground cave, and it's actually really amazing because there's glowworms and all that sort of shite. But like it looks it looks really cool. But we came back and we were just absolutely exhausted. We were supposed to cook dinner that night ourselves, um, but we just I don't know, in a moment of weakness, I ended up looking at the menu and like all the food looked pretty good, but then they went and we have I think it was the New Zealand's best waffle at the time, and I mean we couldn't help ourselves. Like at that point, you just have to like when somebody claims they have the best waffle in a country, you just have to go. All right, well, we're getting that. And it might just have been the best darn waffle in my life. I don't know whether it's because I was so hungry too, so much out of sugar, but holy moly, that just absolutely blew me away how good that thing was. Hey, welcome back, Backman. Sorry. What layer am I on? Uh, I don't know, Pac-Man, but we're far up, I think. And I think that's where we're gonna take it to today. Uh, uh, but there's still a lot of layers left, so don't worry. Yeah, well, I don't know, waffles are just like in very specific situations. There's few things better than waffles, but like if I'm just by myself, I'm much more likely to make pancakes. That's for sure. Uh, there we go. Up here. Perfect. Okay. All right. Wait, isn't it kind of early, Toby? Isn't it like in the middle of the day for you? 4 a.m. Rookie numbers. Ah, oh, phantoms. How's our lighter doing? Just fine. Good. Mm. Oh, you got the night shift, or well, I suppose you must have. Hmm. I might end the stream too once we've completed this layer here. I'm not sure I have much more energy in myself. Night shift down. Damn, that's rough. That is rough. So when do you come home? At 10, 11 p.m. or even later? Or when do you start your shift? I guess that's a better question. Hey Mag, welcome man. It's good seeing you. Alright. Well, I wish thy luck on yeah, go head to bed Toby and get some rest before you start your shift, and I wish thy luck on your shift and on your grind. Continue grinding away. You can do it. Grind away. Become the most responsible person you can be. No, I get it, I get it. That's very relevant in pop culture right now, so I get it. Yeah, yeah, look, trust me, I know, I know. But it's also sort of exciting being on some of those projects, isn't it? At least I find them very exciting whenever I have to pull the long shifts and do a lot of the work. It's always sort of really cool getting so into it. So, yeah, it is indeed. Nice. But Toby, bed now. Don't let me keep you up. Head to bed. Get those hours of sleep so you can work as efficiently and as good as possible. Cheers. I hope to see you again soon. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. There we go. You have a question? Alright. Mostly event thing. Okay, okay, okay. No, let me know. Let me know. You had me at in the first half, so now pull it home. Bring it back home. Aaron is very busy, and mm, mm, I would say that you're likely being a little bit selfish if like he's a busy person and he does a lot of stuff right now and has a lot of stuff going on. So it would be a little bit selfish, yeah, I'd say, but like I get it. Don't get me wrong. It's never nice to be missing a friend, you know. So I totally get it, but at the same time, he is very busy, and all you can trust and hope is that he's gonna, well, return once he's less busy. Yeah, yeah. It's but it's sort of part of growing up. I mean, in a sense. And I'm not saying that this is gonna happen, but part of growing up is also actually losing friends to people being busy. Right? It's I'm not saying that you're necessarily gonna lose him. I'm just saying that he's very busy and has a lot around his ears right now. So all you can do is wait and be patient. And once he's less busy, I guess you start initiating more contact. Make sure that you support him in his endeavors instead of trying to pull him away from what he's doing. Right? So if he really wants to, well, he's being very creative right now, and he's got a lot of school and stuff going on, right? So instead of trying to pull him away from that, maybe if you wanna, if you just want someone to play with, then find someone else. And if you care about him as a friend, then support him through it and talk to him about that, because that it really excites. That some of the stuff he does right now really excites him, and that's and he would probably love to talk to someone about it, but it doesn't feel like he has a lot of people who understand or hmm, not necessarily understand. How do I phrase this better? Hmm. He probably there's a reasonably good chance that he feels like he hasn't got a lot of mates he can share his ambitions or some of the things that he really enjoys with. We all feel like that sometimes, especially when we're really busy. So even if it's something you don't care much about, you could ask him about it and actually be interested, not because the thing necessarily interests you, but because it clearly interests your friend. Well, mm, I don't know. The age you're currently in is a difficult age to navigate, and it's even. Mm, and no matter what I say, it doesn't really matter, because I don't know. I'm probably somewhere in the age where mm, whenever I say something, it doesn't quite feel right, or at least you don't relate a lot to it, or it feels like I'm not relating enough to you, but mm, life is pretty tough, and a lot of the times you aren't actually friends with people you deem to be friends with, and especially at the age you're currently in. And again, I'm not saying that about Aaron at all. I'm just saying that if you said something that you deem to be the thing that made people sort of not want to hang out anymore, then they probably weren't good mates to begin with. And it's a good lesson to learn, and it's not something you should pity yourself over. You're also at some point gonna lend some money to a guy. Either it's gonna be a lot of money or just a little bit of money, and he's not gonna pay it back, and you're just gonna have to take that as a lesson. And the sooner you learn those lessons, and most of them unfortunately have to be experienced, can't be told by either parents or me for that matter. Most of them have to be lived, but you're just gonna have to accept that these lessons you learn throughout your life, and while they suck, you're better off learning them than continuously making the same mistakes. Or not the mistake of telling anyone or being with anyone, but the mistake of trusting someone that hasn't earned that trust yet. When it comes to the money thing, all I can say is, which I hope, which is advice you can, like you can, to a degree, follow. I think at your age, the advice being, don't lend out more money than you can afford to lose to people who you can afford to lose. Right? So if you cannot afford to lose said person, then don't lend the money, and if you cannot afford to lend that amount of money to a person, then don't. Or only lend as much as you think your friendship is worth, and be darn sure that your friendship is worth that amount. Now, I can confidently say that there's only 3 people in the world that lend money. One of them is being my mum, the other one is my oldest mate, and the other one is my best mate. But then again, at the same time, if I were to get in trouble, I'm also sure that they are the first people who would step up to the plate. And I'm talking any kind of money. Like, I'm not gonna let you borrow $1 for a bus ticket, because you might find me snarky, but I just don't let people borrow money, no matter what. Unless it's one of those 3. Because I'm pretty sure that if I told them that, hey look, there's a guy and I need him off the map, I'm pretty sure, well, probably not my mum, but she's sort of different, but I'm pretty sure my oldest mate and my best mate would make sure that he's off the map. Well, girlfriends are sort of in a different category too. And presents are something different. Like that you're giving something to him, to her, sorry, or him, her, since you were saying girlfriend. You're giving something to her. Like, it's different from loaning out money. So there's a slightly different mechanic at play there. But also, don't spend too much money on a girl. Like, you might think you're going to be with her for the rest of your life now. And great if you are, but even more the case if you are going to be with her for the rest of your life, then don't spend money on her. She's gonna stick around. At least not yet. You can't buy anything that really matters anyway. Oh. Jeez. You have plenty of years ahead of you. Don't worry too much about religion or politics. Like, without sounding too condescending, and I know this is gonna sound condescending, but hopefully you're young and smart enough not to mind too much for what I'm about to say, but you barely know what's up and down and what your actual opinions are. You have yet to even differ too much from the thought processes your parents have put into you, and that's completely fair and completely alright. But but you barely know up from down, and it's gonna be years before you do. You only just started thinking consciously, and you can't even, like, it's only when you're 25 your brain is fully capable of thinking about consequences. Not that that's an excuse for anyone younger doing dumb things, but your brain is only really capable of thinking full consequences when you're 25. No, I'm older. Oh wow, wait, I shouldn't have said that, sorry, I just let out my age slip a little bit there. Oh well, no, I'm older than 25, but people have been guessing, like, somewhere in the neighborhood of 25 and 22 and stuff. And I've said, well, you never know. That's been my response so far. Oh well, but I'm older than 25. But I did not mean to let that slip, but here we are. I guess I might just stick to it in the future then, since I've already revealed that then. But you're only fully able to think about all the of many of the consequences that can come from your choices and your actions when you're 25. So you're gonna, like, naturally make mistakes and do dumb stuff just because your brain isn't developed. So I don't think you should worry too much about reconciling your religion, your politics with your girlfriend, who is also not able to think about consequences. She's better at it than you are, but at least she's more mature, her brain is more developed socially, so, like, she should be at least. But even if that, well, she is more developed, whether she uses it or not is down to her. But it's up to you to figure out how to reconcile it in the future when you're actually able to think about it properly and not just critical thinking comes with age, and anyone below 20 barely has the ability to critically think about their own thoughts. Don't worry, Pac-Man, it'll come if you want it. Just be yourself and try not to be too nervous. Find a hobby that you really care about. There's few things that are more attractive than a guy, or anyone really, who's really passionate about something. I don't care what it is you're passionate about, whether it's work, whether it's, well, heck, I'd even say that the main thing that that enthralls girls into guys who are bad for them are that they are passionate about one particular thing. While that particular thing might be toxic and terrible, it's still the passion behind it that enthralls pretty much any person. Whenever you think somebody has a lot of charisma, it is usually also in regards to their passion, right? Whether they're just passionate about life or passionate about the things they do, it is usually that quality that pulls in people. So if you find yourself a hobby that you really care about, you really find interesting, I'm sure you're going to find someone who either shares said passion or finds it incredibly fascinating that you have something that makes your life burn or makes your life worth living. I could be 27. I'm gonna stick to that answer from now on. Just I'm older than 25, and I could certainly be 27. I could certainly also be older, but I forgot a block. Where? Well, we'll find it eventually. If I forgot a block. Either by falling through it, or later when we fly through the dragon. How close am I to this? One, two, three, 4, 5. Or 6 layers away from the bottom of the face. Well, you shouldn't mess around with chloroform, Mag. That's, first of all, it's also addictive. Ah, right, the leaves. Well, those are, they're not actually leaves. In the creative world, I tried to use glow lichen as a paint tool, and it ends up just becoming that, and that's not actually a block I can place down. It's just glow lichen on the inside. I tried to paint over the rock with, so I didn't have to place it down manually, but well, now we're placing it down manually anyway. Yes, I guess that's one of the best advices I can give to young people in general. Ah, darn. Just place a block in the way. Find something you're passionate about and pursue it. And it shouldn't be a person. Let's just clarify that. Get yourself a hobby that you really like, or something that you can chase wholeheartedly and do for hours on end every day. Because that's going to help you rest a little bit in yourself. Whether it's exercise or... Well, I wouldn't recommend gaming, but if that's what you want, then pick gaming, but try to explore a bunch of things. Pick a sport, pick an instrument. Find something that makes you passionate about the thing, and then just continue pursuing that. Everything else will eventually fall in place. This is pretty much just a labyrinth, isn't it? Alright, get me away from said labyrinth. Hold on. Give it a couple of years, Mac. Give it a couple of years. If you guys actually manage to stick together all the way. Besides, you only regret your first if you think it was the wrong if it was the wrong choice to do at the time. You're not gonna regret it if it's something that you fully believed in. We have a couple of X's over here. Alright, more glass placing. Well, you don't need a job, you just need a hobby. Find something you're passionate about. Try out a couple of things that you always thought about trying out, like playing the guitar, or heck, when I was 14 I thought about trying out baseball, because it's something my dad and I always used to watch on TV. Turned out I was really good at it, and I ended up playing on the best team in Denmark, and when I moved to New Zealand I played semi-professionally. But it took more courage to start just doing it or trying it out than it did actually playing this damn thing, right? And when I think back on it, it's like that with a lot of things in life, where the thought about doing it is more dreadful, scary than the actual thing. Then the thing actually is. Like, you can even like take it down to something basic as doing the dishes. Like, when I think about doing the dishes, I think, oh my god, this absolutely fudging sucks. But when you end up doing it anyway, it's like, oh well, took 5 minutes and it wasn't actually that bad. And if anything, it was actually kind of nice having your hands in some warm water for an extended period of time. And then, like, next time you do it, it's the same, exact same thing. Oh my god, this absolutely sucks. Why? I don't want to do the dishes, and then you do the dishes, and it was actually not bad. It took 5 minutes, and you've been dreading it for days or for hours, when you could just have knocked it out of the park right away. Well, go find yourself another hobby, Pac-Man. I'm sure there's something you're passionate about, something you thought about trying. And the worst thing that can happen is that you realize it isn't something for you, but then you learn something about yourself. If you want to play soccer, if you ever thought about it, then try it out. That's what youth is about. It's not about, and like, I say that as a gamer myself, but there's nothing worse you can do than hole yourself up in a hole and just game all day. You have to go out and experience who you are, and once you've done that, once you've experienced a little bit of life, once you've gone out, done hobbies and things that you think you might like. I picked up the guitar on a whim. I decided to try and learn piano, the violin. Baseball, soccer, because I thought it would be sort of cool to be able to do some of those things. And right, whether it's, no matter what the superficial reason for it is, like when I started playing the guitar, it was like, because, wow, girls are gonna find this so hot. And then I started playing the guitar, and I was indeed right. But turned out that that wasn't as important to me as I thought it was, and I quickly got bored with it. And I learned something about myself. Well, I'm pretty... Wait, do you have... I have Steam, I do, yes. What about it? What do I have on Steam? I don't know, 148 or something like that games. A bunch of nothing that I don't really care about most of the time. I do not, and I honestly don't have the time, man. Split between streaming, working for, as I work a lot, and I've said that plenty of times. I work a lot. I work 8 to 10 hours a day, and then I stream for, well, in this case, almost 4 hours, right? And that's not super unusual. And then I cook, clean, make dinner, or I clean, I make dinner, I chat up mates, and I hear whether they want to head to the bar, or whether they want to play a game of something, and we do that. I don't have a lot of time for really other things than that. Alright, see you later, Mag. Well, You don't become an adult by age, Pac-Man. Age has nothing to do with being an adult. Being an adult is all about experience and responsibilities. And first of all, you're not ready for the responsibilities, and second of all, you only get ready for the responsibilities by experiencing different things, which you can only do by going out and experiencing. So if you want to grow up and become an adult, you have to go out and experience the world. But in doing so, you're also going to realize that you don't really want all the responsibilities that are out there. It's the eternal conundrum. Because sure, you can be an adult on paper, but that's not going to give you much if you haven't experienced anything. Then you're just going to disappoint everyone around you. If you aren't ready for the responsibilities you should be ready for by a certain age. What can you do? Well, I'm not sure I'm the kind of guy you should be asking. I'm probably, I'm probably too old. Because my advice is be yourself, dude, and if she doesn't like that, then she isn't, if she isn't attracted to that, then she isn't worth it. Like, you might think she is, but... And I guess there's a part of growing up that where you try to change yourself for a certain someone and whop 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 whop, and that's all to be expected, and you're gonna eventually find a girl and you're gonna figure out what her type is, and you're gonna try and act that way, and it's not gonna come off natural, and she's not gonna like it because she while she doesn't necessarily know what it is about you, she doesn't like, but she's gonna know that you're not authentic, and that's sort of gonna ruin any hopes you have of getting with her if you don't. Like, the only thing you can do is act like yourself, and at some point you're gonna find out you're gonna have a crush on a girl that's also gonna have a crush on you, and that's the whole point. The point isn't having a crush on someone and then just loving the shit out of them. If that's the case, then you're more in love with the idea of being in love than you are with the actual girl. Nah. She's only perfect if she thinks you are. Or rather, first of all, there's no such thing as a perfect girl. Even the times when I've been the most in love, if you're unable to see that she's imperfect and love her despite her imperfections, or because of, even in some cases, then you're, again, not in love with her, you're in love with the idea of her. And she doesn't deserve to be treated like an ideal. If that makes sense. So yeah, I'm not sure it does, but it might in the future. You need to find something that makes you proud in yourself. Should you stop gaming? Depends on why you want to stop gaming. Do you feel like it's holding you back from living life? Do you feel like it is stopping you from doing the things you should be doing with your life. Because if you're just gonna quit gaming and then sit and do nothing, then, well, I don't know, man. It's again, trying not to sound condescending, but at your age, you have no idea what you want, who you want, or why you want different things. And there's probably not going to be a lot of adults that are going to say that to you in these words, but it's what a lot of it boils down to. So it's sort of difficult for, and while you that's going to sound super offensive, and this is going to sound even more offensive. You think that you know, no, but in reality, all you are right now is barely sentient. Critical thinking is still beyond you, beyond your brain's capacity. And life is life is still a mystery to you. Well, it is what it is, and it's completely normal. And anyone who claims that you can critical think and do anything, do any of that, is lying to themselves, because they also knew that they weren't able to critically think. All your again, it comes with age. Your brain is simply just not developed enough, and that doesn't mean that you should lean back and wait for your brain to develop. You should stimulate your brain by doing all sorts of activities that that challenge you in both social situations and bodily situations and physical situations, let's say instead. Bodily situations sounds so weird, but emotional, social situations. You should go out, fall in love, pursue girls by being yourself. Eventually you're going to realize a couple of things about yourself, things you don't like, and then you can work on said things to become the better version of yourself, and that's not going to happen overnight. But I do think, I don't know whether it's going to work for you, because I sure as hell didn't when I was your age, but one of the things I do a lot now, whenever I'm thinking about life, or thinking about an issue, I go to bed early. I put my phone far, far away, and instead of lying down in bed, I sit on the edge of it. I turn off all the light. I close my eyes, and I think, okay, what's up? What's up, Joe? Right? And I sit there thinking that for pretty much about 15 to 30 minutes. And usually, within those 15 to 20 minutes, something I don't like about myself or don't like about my situation comes to mind. And then all I can do is say, alright, how important is that compared to the other goals I currently have? And, well, if you haven't done that before, if nothing comes to mind, it might just be that it's a tool that you can't use yet, but I would suggest it's something you practice, because it's really eye-opening, at least to me. My life only started really improving after I started doing that. It helped me focus on the sort of goals, or finding the goals that I really cared about. Whether it was traveling, finding a girlfriend, or earning a lot of money, it helped me prioritize. It helped me see what, and to this day still helps me see what really matters to me. sitting in the dark and thinking, what's up, Joe? Thinking about my life and all the things I like in it. Because then the bad things will be revealed too, and from those bad things I can derive what made those things come to be. Like, let's say I'm depressed. I'm not, by the way, I'm just gonna, but let's say I am. I can then think, okay, why am I depressed? What have I done to lead me here? Because 99% of the things that happen to you all throughout your life is because you did something at some point, right? You could say an abstract choice, or an abstract of this version, a terrible one, is becoming an alcoholic at an old age, right? Or realizing you're an alcoholic. You can blame society and everything. But after, if said person were to sit down, they might be able to critically think about, okay, so I went out partying every weekend, which turned into every day, and then it turned into having a cold one with some very select friends who did the same, and suddenly now I'm surrounded myself with only alcoholic people, and I've become an alcoholic myself. It really comes down to every single choice you make yourself, and that's a daunting realization once that fully settles in. And it's not supposed to settle in yet at your age. Like, just live your life, find things you're passionate about, find hobbies, try things you have never tried before. If there's something on the dinner table that you're sure you're absolutely gonna hate, right? I don't know, we're just gonna take a very, very casual and stereotypical food, broccoli. Personally, I love broccoli. I think it tastes absolutely amazing. But let's say you absolutely hate it. Try it anyway, right? And you can confirm to yourself, yeah, this still tastes like shit. And you learned something about yourself. But next time it's on the table, taste it again and go, this is still pretty bad. Before you know it, you're actually going to go, oh, it's actually not as bad as I remember. And that's because you've grown as a person and your taste buds has grown as a person. Like, you've actually physically grown as a person. Right? You might go start picking up the guitar, start playing it, right? There are different chords that your fingers simply cannot do when you're young, right? Stick with it for a year, and suddenly you're going to go, wow, I can actually do these chords now. Like, my fingers are strong enough to keep pressure on all the strings. Then you have physically grown as a person, physically grown, but also as a person. You can start dating girls and do more and more activities with them, like going for dates and figuring out where your comfort zone is, and you can try and push yourself out of the comfort zone, out of your own comfort zone, and suddenly you will have grown as a person. Find something that you care about. Well, it's also as women, also as a woman, you should challenge yourself, not necessarily in the same way as men, usually. Like, there's all sorts of podcasts out there that are going to be very, they're just going to say, oh my god, men has it so terrible and we're in a crisis or whatever. Sure, men in general might be, but that doesn't count for you. If you write your situation off because it sucks being a man, then it's because you suck, not because it sucks being a man. You can rise above, and gender doesn't matter. Don't think in the roles of something is important just because you're a man or a woman. Think of something being important because it is, and because you deem it to be. Yeah, I think. I'll end the stream here on the flipping zombie, and then we'll watch that for a little bit, get a good smile in, and then I'll probably end the stream because I'm tired and I need sleep, and I need dinner, and I need to see my mates. On the note of becoming alcoholic, we agreed to meet at a bar today, so, I mean, I'm not saying I'm becoming an alcoholic, because we don't do this nearly often enough for it to count, but... can I, like, stop flying? There we go. He doesn't do quite as much of a black flip as he did yesterday, and he does even less. Huh. But he's really good at it, though. Like, let's say, oh yeah, you could also become a gymnast. Learn how to do backflips like that guy. Look at those backflips! Regardlessly, thank you so much for watching, Pac-Man and everyone else. I had a blast of a time today. The chat has been super active, which, I mean, it's just super, super cool. So thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you again tomorrow, where we're likely gonna get to the head. Whew, that's gonna be exciting. But until then, cheerio, have a good one, and Joe out.